experience that I have had, and I told you about the folks I grew up with, they didn't have that kind of experience when they went to college. So I am very, very thoughtful about what being Black in America means. And I know that, Jason, in particular, our conversations, you've had similarly situated kinds of experiences where you're actually living in two worlds, right? So you kind of understand your Black experience because your aunties, your uncles, your mother and father are preparing you for what effectively will be the world you will have to engage in some way. And while that's unfortunate, it is no less true. Now, fast forward to now, particularly the death of George Floyd. When the death of George Floyd happened, two of my friends from when I was a young man in Newcastle, Delaware, two white friends who were very accomplished, called me and said, "Tony, what's the talk?" I said, "What do you mean? What, you guys have talks? You've had a talk with your son about how to direct yourself when you're being accosted by the police?" "Yes, you have to have that." "Did somebody have that talk with you?" "Absolutely." It could not fathom that. It could not, and these are good brothers. They're good-hearted, well thought of folks, and they couldn't fathom it. So as I've said many times, had it not been for COVID-19, the greatest pandemic in 100 years, we would not have exposed the pandemic that has been with us for 400 years. So one pandemic really exposed another. And what I'm grateful about in this crisis is that everybody was watching. You could not turn away from what you have seen, particularly as it relates to law enforcement and African-American men and women in this country. So I do think that this is potentially a paradigmatic shift for how our white allies sort of understand systemic racism. And hopefully those folks who have not even had this conversation or don't want to have this conversation are now open in a much different way.